Ladies and gentlemen, in the grand tapestry of life, we often find ourselves bound by preconceived notions, stereotypes, and the boundaries of expectation. We look for the exceptional in places where we think brilliance resides, often overlooking the unassuming, the quiet, or the flawed. Today, I want to talk about a profound truth: God has a history of choosing the least likely among us to achieve the extraordinary. Throughout history, humanity's greatest breakthroughs have emerged not from the obvious but from the unexpected. This pattern speaks to a divine intelligence that operates beyond human comprehension. When you think you've identified the chosen one, the natural leader, the talented prodigy, the flawless example, God often points to someone else entirely. This reality challenges us to rethink our assumptions about greatness and, more importantly, about ourselves. It calls us to humility and vigilance, to see beyond the surface and to remain open to the transformative power of faith, courage, and perseverance. The people God chooses are often deeply flawed, and their imperfections play a pivotal role in their journey toward greatness. These flaws are not accidents or oversights, they are integral to the narrative of transformation and purpose. Human nature tends to seek out perfection, equating it with capability and worthiness. However, history and divine intervention often demonstrate the opposite. The individuals who rise to prominence, the ones who inspire and lead, frequently begin their journeys from places of brokenness, weakness, or perceived inadequacy. Consider the stories that have stood the test of time. The biblical figure Moses, for instance, was a stutterer who doubted his ability to speak on behalf of his people. David, a shepherd boy dismissed by his own family, rose to become a king. Even in modern narratives, we find countless examples of people overcoming their limitations to achieve greatness. These imperfections are not merely obstacles, they are the crucibles in which strength and character are forged. They create a sense of relatability, reminding us that no one is exempt from struggle. Flaws also serve as a testament to the power of grace and growth. They show that potential is not static but dynamic, capable of evolving and flourishing under the right circumstances. When someone who is seemingly unqualified or unworthy rises to meet their calling, it defies conventional logic and amplifies the impact of their story. Their flaws become a part of the message, illustrating that greatness is not about being perfect but about rising despite imperfection. Moreover, these flaws foster humility, both in the individual and in those who witness their journey. They remind us that everyone is a work in progress and that no one is beyond redemption or usefulness. The struggles and shortcomings of those chosen by God are not weaknesses to be hidden but evidence of a transformative process that can inspire faith, hope, and perseverance in others. This perspective invites us to reconsider how we evaluate people, urging us to see beyond surface-level judgments and appreciate the profound potential embedded in imperfection. True greatness often emerges from the most unexpected places, challenging our assumptions about where talent and capability reside. Society tends to assign value based on external markers such as appearance, status, or credentials, overlooking the quiet strength or potential of those who exist outside the spotlight. Yet, time and again, we see extraordinary contributions arise from individuals and circumstances that initially seemed insignificant. This phenomenon is not random but purposeful, illustrating that the value of a person is often hidden beneath layers of societal disregard or personal doubt. The shepherd boy chosen to defeat a giant, the underdog entrepreneur who revolutionizes an industry, the student who struggles in school but later discovers a genius untapped by traditional methods, all these examples reveal a consistent pattern. Greatness does not require a glamorous beginning or obvious qualifications. Instead, it often flourishes in obscurity, nurtured by resilience, creativity, and the ability to overcome challenges that others cannot see. When someone rises from an unexpected place, it forces a re-evaluation of our standards for recognizing potential. The overlooked spaces, whether they are humble homes, rural villages, or unassuming workplaces, frequently harbor the seeds of extraordinary accomplishment. These environments often cultivate unique perspectives and skills, offering lessons that more privileged settings might miss. The quiet worker who has been perfecting their craft for years, unnoticed, might possess insights or innovations that those in the spotlight have never considered. This dynamic also highlights the role of faith and vision in seeing what others overlook. Recognizing greatness in unexpected places requires an openness to possibility and a willingness to challenge stereotypes. It asks us to move beyond surface-level judgments and consider the deeper qualities that truly define a person's capacity for impact. By embracing this perspective, we create opportunities for transformation, not just for the individual in question but for ourselves and the systems that shape our understanding of worth and potential. The unexpected nature of greatness underscores a profound truth: the most valuable treasures are often found in the least likely places, waiting for those with the vision to discover them. Reason has its place in decision-making, offering structure, logic, and a framework for evaluating the world. However, when it comes to understanding divine choices, reason often falls short. Faith operates on a different wavelength, one that transcends the limits of human logic and invites us to see beyond what is immediately apparent. This divergence between reason and faith is particularly evident when considering the idea that God chooses the unlikely, the flawed, or the unprepared to carry out significant roles. Such choices seem counterintuitive from a purely rational perspective, yet they underscore the deeper workings of divine purpose. Human reasoning tends to rely on external evidence, track records, qualifications, physical attributes, or intellectual prowess. When selecting leaders, visionaries, or champions, society often leans on these tangible metrics to predict success. Faith, however, challenges this approach by prioritizing qualities that are not always visible to the naked eye, such as integrity, resilience, humility, and a willingness to serve. These are the traits that truly define greatness, though they may not always align with societal expectations. When God chooses someone who defies conventional standards, it serves as a reminder that divine purpose is not constrained by human logic. These choices often force observers to confront their biases and reconsider their criteria for worthiness. The emphasis on faith over reason encourages us to trust in a process we may not fully understand, one that values the heart and spirit over outward appearances. It is a call to recognize the potential in others even when that potential is obscured by circumstances or personal shortcomings. This dynamic also challenges the chosen individual. They must often move forward despite their own doubts, relying on faith to sustain them when reason tells them they are unqualified or incapable. It is through this tension between doubt and belief that true transformation occurs. Faith becomes a guiding force, enabling them to step into roles they might otherwise reject. The emphasis on faith over reason is not a dismissal of intellect but a recognition that the deepest truths and the most significant transformations often arise in places where logic alone cannot reach. Adversity has a unique ability to shape individuals in ways that comfort and ease cannot. The people chosen for extraordinary roles often endure immense hardships, and these trials are not incidental but essential to their preparation. Challenges refine their character, develop resilience, and instill a deep sense of purpose that equips them to fulfill their calling. Adversity is the crucible where superficial qualities are burned away, leaving behind the strength and clarity necessary for leadership and impact. These trials often begin long before the chosen individual is aware of their role. Life's difficulties may seem random or unfair, but they are part of a larger process of preparation. Struggles test resolve and foster empathy, enabling the person to relate to the experiences of others. They also cultivate perseverance, teaching the individual how to navigate obstacles and overcome setbacks. Without these experiences, the chosen one might lack the depth and wisdom required to carry the weight of their calling. Moreover, adversity reveals strengths and capacities that might otherwise remain dormant. It pushes individuals beyond their perceived limits, forcing them to grow in ways they could not have anticipated. When faced with challenges, they discover hidden reserves of courage, creativity, and determination. These qualities not only help them survive but also position them to thrive and lead. Adversity also serves as a powerful teacher, imparting lessons that are not easily forgotten. Each trial becomes a source of insight, shaping the chosen individual's perspective and priorities. These lessons often become central to their leadership, enabling them to guide others with authenticity and wisdom. Their struggles make their successes more meaningful and their guidance more impactful. Finally, the process of overcoming adversity creates a sense of humility and gratitude. It reminds the chosen one of their dependence on something greater than themselves, whether that is divine grace, the support of a community, or the inner strength forged through hardship. This humility enhances their ability to serve others, ensuring that their leadership is grounded not in arrogance but in compassion and a genuine desire to uplift those around them. Through adversity, the chosen one becomes not only stronger but also more attuned to the needs and struggles of others. Recognizing and supporting those whom God has chosen requires a shift in perspective and a willingness to challenge deeply ingrained assumptions. Too often, society overlooks or undervalues individuals who do not fit traditional molds of leadership or success. This tendency blinds us to the potential and purpose within those who may not stand out at first glance but are uniquely equipped for significant roles. Recognizing the chosen involves cultivating humility, discernment, and an openness to possibilities that transcend appearances. One of the greatest challenges in recognizing the chosen is overcoming bias. People tend to assess others based on external factors such as status, education, or physical presence. These superficial criteria can obscure the qualities that truly matter, such as integrity, perseverance, and a heart aligned with purpose. Supporting the chosen requires us to look beyond the surface and seek out the deeper, often hidden, attributes that define true greatness. Recognizing the chosen also demands patience and faith. The journey of a chosen individual is rarely straightforward, and their potential may not be immediately evident. It takes time for their abilities to unfold and for their purpose to become clear. During this process, it is crucial to provide encouragement and opportunities for growth. Small acts of support, such as offering guidance, creating space for their voice to be heard, or simply believing in their potential, can have a profound impact. Additionally, the chosen often face significant resistance or doubt from those around them. They may be misunderstood, underestimated, or even actively opposed. In such cases, our role is not only to recognize their value but also to stand with them, offering strength and advocacy as they navigate challenges. This requires courage and a willingness to align ourselves with what may initially seem unconventional or unpopular. Ultimately, supporting the chosen is about participating in a greater purpose. By lifting others, we contribute to a larger narrative of transformation and hope. Our ability to recognize and affirm the chosen reflects our faith in a process that values character over convention and potential over preconceptions. It is an act of trust, humility, and service, affirming that greatness often emerges from the least expected places.